So we have this celery root here, or celeriac. So what I would do to it, I'd grip my knife. This is a proper knife grip right here. You can also grasp on the handle or right here. I'm comfortable grasping up here, but you want to hold like a handshake with your knife. And you never want to rest your finger up here. This is called an inchworm. This can actually damage the tendon in your arm after years of doing it. If you don't cook a lot, it's probably not a problem, but the proper knife grip is like this. And then you just, really you want to stand over your, whatever you're cooking, be real centered over it. I'm opening up my legs a little bit wide because this table is lower than I would normally work, but that's something you want to think about in your kitchen. How's the height of my counters? Are they too tall? Am I having to work up here, or is it too low and I'm hunched over? This all adds to the joy and the pleasure of cooking, is to have a good, give yourself a good decent workspace and a good knife, and you're going to be more apt to cook. So can you guys see this over there? I don't know if you can see. Okay, I'm going to move the oranges out of your way. So I'm just going down, and you always want to go tip to heel. This is your tip, this is your heel, and this part is called the cutting edge. So I'm pushing down, and I'm going right through, taking off the top, and I'm going to take off most of that gnarled bottom there because there's not really much I can do with that. So I'm taking that off. And now what I've done for myself is I've created two flat surfaces so I can set the root down. And then I'm taking, and it is okay if you're going to press, if you need to get through something that's tough, you want to put your thumb on top, and that's going to give you more weight to push down. So I've gotten the smaller knife, and I'm going to push down, and I'm trying to, I'm trying not to get too much of the actual root itself, because that would be wasting, but I just want to get this rough skin off. Now this celery root, this is a really delicious vegetable. It's somewhat related to celery, but it's a different, what is it called? Variety. This variety was grown to get this big bulb. And the other one is more for the stalk. But I've tasted, there is a stalk that comes out of this, and I've tasted it, and it tastes like celery. So you could use it. I don't see why not. So you want to get most of this off. Now, you can use this in with mashed potatoes. You can just roast it. You can also make the most delicious cream soup out of it with just really basically just boiling it.
Does it taste like celery?
It tastes lightly of celery. It does, but it's more mild.
It tastes like the heart of the celery.
Yeah, it does.
I assume that a lot of vitamins.
Lots of vitamins. I don't know the full nutritional content, but anything that grows below the ground, that gets a lot of micronutrients that are down in the ground because the roots go out down into the ground. So then once you have something like this, you've got something to work with. And then I would just cut right through it, going down with the tip and following through with the heel. And then you can stack two pieces on top. And I'm holding, I call this my claw hand. So I'm holding the object I'm cutting with a hand tucked, my fingers tucked in, because I don't want to cut my fingers because I really like them. And I don't want to put them in whatever I'm making. And you can actually, once you get practiced with this, you can use this as a guide to move your knife along. But I don't recommend that when you're just beginning. So I'm pushing through. And I get nice little chunks. So this would be a large dice size. You could then toss this with olive oil, and you could roast it in the oven, or you could boil it at this point. You could go ahead and boil this, mix it with mashed potatoes.
Does it cook at about the same time as a potato?
It does, yeah, it does.